Hey everybody, I'm Veljko, and in this video I'm gonna be telling you why I chose the Peugeot 207 GTI over its competitors. This is gonna be maybe a longer video. Keep in mind I'm comparing to the same generations of cars, so the main competitors are the Renault CLIO RS3, the Opel Corsa OPC, or in England the Vauxhall Corsa VRX, the Mini Cooper S. I think that is it, so I'm gonna be comparing my Peugeot to those three cars. Of course, there are German hot hatches of that generation, but they are a bit more heavier, more expensive. I was looking for a nimble track day car that also you enjoy it during daily driving. So yeah, let's start with the Renault CLIO 3 RS, since many people are buying and loving. I personally didn't drive it yet, but I hear from many people that it is the best handling car out of all the four. Let me continue with the good things about that car. So the car is reliable, it's naturally aspirated, it's less complicated, there's no turbo. It's also the looks from the outside, it looks like a racing car. It looks like it has a body kit here and at the back compared to my Peugeot. But the flaw with me is the inside. It kind of looks very bland. Most of the CLIO 3 RS, they have the regular seats. It doesn't excite me while I'm inside, and I kind of value the interior because I'm spending there most of my time. So that's one issue. And also in Serbia, they are double more expensive than the Peugeot 207 GTI. Now, of course, they're double more expensive because there's less things to go wrong. You buy it, you just maintain it and drive it. I think the rain is coming, so I have to hurry up with this video. So yeah, it doesn't excite me as much. It doesn't have the tuning potential. Peugeot 207 with the turbo, you can go stage 1, stage 2, stage 3. The fuel consumption is better than in CLIO because it has that turbo and the torque in city. So those are the reasons why I didn't buy the Renault CLIO RS. So next thing is the Opel Corsa OPC or Vauxhall Corsa VRX, right? VXR, sorry, VXR. Let's start with the positives. From the outside, it's such a nice looking car. It really turns head, especially in the blue or yellow and the brighter colors. That car is the direct competitor to my car because it's the same 1.6 liter turbo. Although it has 20 horsepower more, the turbo is bigger, so it creates more lag. And I heard on the track it's not as impressive. The Peugeot 207 clearly beats it on track. And that is the main reason why I didn't buy it. I just wanted a performance hatchback. I mean, I want to go on a track. I even went to Hungaroring to have fun. So that is the only reason why. It's the performance aspects that are not as good as the Peugeot 207. While I'm saying the positive and negatives, I'm gonna also say that about my Peugeot right now. So the positives are still the looks. I love the looks of this Peugeot. It's not as crazy as the Opel Corsa or the Renault CLIO. It doesn't have that as wow factor because the bumper is still the same like any other Peugeot, the back bumper, but that doesn't mean it's an ordinary car. To me, it still looks so handsome. And with the big grills, that's the trend now, so it still looks modern. The second thing that I like is the driving position and the handling and the engine. I mean, it is so nice to drive. I enjoy every gear change and every pull of this car. There is almost no turbo lag, and you sit very low in the car as well. The seats are amazing. However, the biggest negative is the reliability. Now, I bought this car very cheap, like 2,800 euros, and I bought it with problems. I spent around 1,000 to 2,000 euros for fixing this car, but it's been 1 year and there has been no problems. I replaced the turbo, the high pressure fuel pump, and many things around the engine that went wrong, but the actual engine is still strong. I mean, you just have to really look careful into buying a right one. And because it has lots of torque at only 1,500 RPMs, the fuel consumption in city, it impressed me so much. And they are very well equipped. It has even the panorama, the JBL sound system. It has the dimming of the rear view mirror. It has the the side mirrors fold electronically. The rear windows are tinted from the factory. It has cruise control, and to get all that for an affordable price, it's such a good buy. Anyway, the third competitor, the Mini Cooper S R56, it's also an amazing handling car. I think it's on par of my Peugeot, or maybe a little bit better. It has the extra gear. My Peugeot has 5 gears, the Mini Cooper S has 6, so that's another positive. But the reason why I didn't buy it is, again, the price, because it's almost double more than my Peugeot. Even though it's the same engine, I think it's the same chassis, I don't know, I'm not sure. Plus the mod support for Peugeot is, I think, better than the Minis. Now the exterior and the interior, I'm not the type of guy who would buy that kind of car, but I do find them very interesting and very different from anything else. I always love cars that are different from the norm. It's not my type of car, so that's why I didn't buy it in the end. Like, compared to Peugeot, Peugeot looks like it's the people were made the car for me, like, or how I would design a hot hatch. The clouds are coming closer and closer. So yeah, that's a wrap. I am very happy with my choice that I chose 207 GTI. They are wonderful cars. You just have to be very careful buying the right one with lower mileage and just take care of them. I went to 3 track days with this Peugeot. Even once I went to Hungaroring F1 track and no problems. The temperature didn't rise at all. It's a very good car. Before I end this video, there is one car that is not in the same generation of this Peugeot, but the car that I would most likely replace if I have to choose, if somebody told me you have to replace this Peugeot with something else. And that is the Ford Fiesta ST. It is a newer platform. It came a few years later compared to Peugeot, but I've heard from many people that this is the hot hatch to have. And I think the price of the Ford Fiesta ST is also gonna stay or start growing. So I think there's a butterfly. So I think that car is a very good choice. It's also small, it's light, the performance is excellent on track. It's more reliable than my Peugeot. I didn't hear many horror stories of that small turbo engine. It's kind of a perfect car if you think about it. Now, the interior is a bit cheap. The interior of the Peugeot, I think it's more substantial, if that's the word. Anyway, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.